On May 17, 2009 at 12:35 p.m., the Pasadena Police Department received a phone call from an unidentified male reporting a suspicious person in a vehicle.
Yes, there's a guy in a black Lexus gangbanging on kids and UPS drivers on the corner of Glen and Howard. He's wearing all red, and I have a license plate number.
Give me 1 second. What is he doing exactly?
He's ganging, fuck this thing. He's like this gang, that gang, and then fuck this gang, that gang, and then he threatened the UPS driver, and then he's yelling at some kids that were walking by.
Officers promptly responded to the area, but were unable to locate the vehicle or the individual in question. Later, at 6:10 p.m., the Pasadena Police Department received another call, this time from an unidentified female, reporting a man who was yelling gang slurs and acting suspicious.
Hi, I'd like to give a tip. There's a African-American male standing on the corner of Glen and Howard. He's yelling at cars, yelling gang slurs and acting suspicious.
Okay, what are you wearing? Color shirt, color pants?
He's wearing red, and it looks like he has like a black sweater, like a black, like his chest part is black, but the sleeves are red, and he has a red cap.
Okay, and what is he yelling? Can you say anything you can hear?
Something about blood.
By himself?
Yeah, he's by himself, but he's yelling. He's yelling at cars passing by, and he keeps pacing, and he's making people nervous because he's acting rowdy.
Two police officers driving a marked black and white patrol car headed to the northwest corner of Howard Street and Glen Avenue. They activated their body-worn cameras while seated in their vehicle. The officers observed the subject in question, who was yelling on private property. One of the officers recognized the suspect from a prior incident where he had clashed with uniformed police officers. The officers then approached a female who was in front of the location and disengaged from the call, as the person in question was on private property and not violating any laws. At 6:27 p.m., the Pasadena Police Department received a return call from the unidentified female caller, reporting that the male previously mentioned was now armed with an AR-15 rifle.
Hi, I called earlier about a man on the corner of Glen and Howard.
Okay.
How
long ago did you call?
Like 30 minutes.
Okay.
The cops passed by and they left. Now the guy has a gun, and he's still yelling, and he's getting crazier by the minute. It looks like an automatic.
How big was it? Or 1 second. Is he still in the area of Glen and Howard?
Yes.
What color is it? Are you there, ma'am?
Yes, I'm here. Hold on. How big is it? What kind of animal is it? Are you serious? They're saying it's an AR-15. And he's still yelling.
And again, he's a male black, wearing a black sweater, red sleeves, red hat.
Yeah. They're saying that he was waving it in the air above his head, and now he's hiding it towards the side of the house. It looks like he's on something, and he's going crazy.
At 6:29 p.m., the Pasadena Police Dispatch Center issued a general broadcast to all units regarding a man with a firearm at the intersection of Glen Avenue and Howard Street. Specifically, the man was waving an AR-15 rifle in the air while yelling. The officers believed this individual to be Daniel Warren, as they had a prior altercation with him in the past. One of the responding officers informed the units that the subject was wearing a black vest, although it was unclear whether it was a ballistic vest. Another officer mentioned that Warren had a history involving firearms. Upon arriving at the scene, officers walked to the location from Sunset Avenue and Howard Street. One officer visually identified the subject as Daniel Warren, who was not holding anything but was wearing a tactical vest. Despite this, Warren continued yelling and eventually produced a firearm, pointing it at the responding officers. After repeatedly shouting for him to drop the gun, an officer-involved shooting took place, and Warren retreated between two houses.
Get your hands up! Good! He's pointing something! He's pointing something! Good!
He's making a gesture. I don't think he has anything in his hand. He's just pointing at us like he's got.
No, he's got a gun! He's got a gun! I see it in his hand. I see it. Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Drop the gun!
274 looks like our suspect.
Everybody make sure you're tucked up. Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Shit, there's...
You sure it's a gun?
Yep, he's pointing it. Drop the gun! Take him out!
Keep giving commands.
Drop the gun!
Give me commands.
Shots fired.
We got shots fired.
Yeah, he ducked behind the...
274, shots fired. Shots fired.
Yep.
He's firing. He's
Firing.
shooting.
Shootout Avenue's in the front yard. To the south side of the property.
Guys on the south side over here.
I can see him right here. Quick. 274, we got shots fired. Suspect is firing at us, and we have officers engaged as well. Watch that side!
The containment of the scene shifted into isolation as officers attempted to locate Warren by climbing fences across the streets from his last known whereabouts. They eventually found Warren seated in a chair between two houses, with two firearms nearby. He was bleeding. The officers issued commands for Warren to surrender and show his hands. An emergency response team, ERT, was identified, and the police department's armored vehicle was summoned to the scene. The ERT team leader devised a plan to utilize less lethal systems to prompt Warren's surrender. Once the ERT was in position, the team leader deployed a light sound diversionary device where Warren was seated. However, there was no reaction from Warren. Subsequently, Warren was struck with a 40mm foam baton impact round. Yet again, with no response. The ERT then approached Warren and detained him. Despite life-saving efforts, Warren tragically died at the scene.